10 seconds to go. 3, 2, 1, go!
This is exciting. The rates of range from London to Paris. Perfect driving conditions today. All cars are fully charged. Ladies and gentlemen, start your engines. Ready, set, go!
The race is on! We're reaching the cliffs of Dover, where all drivers have to switch to the train. The race continues as we reach Calais. Oh, battery low! Battery low! Now that is a gentleman. 3 cars still in the race. Oh no, double dropout.
Ladies and gentlemen, we have a winner. He could keep going way past the finish line if he wanted.
Please welcome the CEO of the Opel Group, GM Executive Vice President and President Europe, Dr. Karl-Thomas Neumann.
Bonjour, bonjour, mesdames et messieurs. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome. This is our all-new Opel Ampera E. Das Elektroauto. Or to say it differently, the electric vehicle for everyone. The new Opel Ampera E redefines electric mobility by solving the biggest challenge, the range. As you just saw in our intro, our Ampera E surpasses all of its competitors when it comes to range. You just saw it. On their way from London to Paris, the cars had to cover 470 kilometers. For 50 kilometers to cross the channel from England to France, they took the train. Our goal? To drive the distance from London to the Paris Motor Show without recharging the battery. In the end, just one car made it, the Opel Ampera E. Let me give you some more exciting news. Based on preliminary NEDC tests, I can now confirm that the Ampera E will have a range of more than 500 kilometers, substantially more than we announced a couple of weeks ago. I repeat, more than 500 kilometers. This is 100 kilometers more than the strongest competitor currently on the road, according to NEDC. Yeah, and I can already hear your concerns. While the NEDC is important to create comparability, the test cycle does not really reflect everyday reality. Ladies and gentlemen, I also proudly can announce today that we estimate that the combined WLTP range will be over 380 kilometers. So driving from Vienna to Munich, from Brussels to Amsterdam, or as we just saw, from London to Paris, without range being an anxiety. This trip from London to Paris did not just happen in our little animated film. Last Saturday, we conducted a real-world test. 2 of our engineers drove the Ampera E from Piccadilly Circus in London to the doors of the Mondial de l'Automobile here in Paris. In this case, we are not talking about test cycles, we're talking about reality. We are talking about real people driving on open roads under real-world conditions, including the typical city center traffic jams in London and in Paris. And as shown in the animation, our engineers covered the entire distance on a single charge, 417 kilometers of driving on a single charge. But you know what? The best is, when we arrived here, the battery of the Ampera E was far from being empty. According to the onboard computer, it could have still covered a further 80 kilometers. So in the hands of a careful driver, on a normal road, under normal weather and traffic conditions, our Ampera E could have driven about 500 kilometers. So this car is a real game changer. We will introduce the Ampera E in Europe in spring 2017. More details on pricing and the sales approach will be announced in due course. But I want to underline that while many manufacturers are presenting their future electric cars with more than 400 kilometers range as concepts that will only hit the market in 2 or 3 years' time, we are presenting a real production car. Not a concept, your car. A car that you will be able to own and drive beginning next spring. But the Opel Ampera E is more than just a range champion. It's also real fun to drive. The power output of the electric motor is 204 horsepower. Standing starts at traffic lights or speeding up while entering the highway, that belongs to the Opel Ampera E's favorites. It sprints to 50 kilometers per hour in only 3.2 seconds. And yes, the Ampera E even competes with our super sporty OPC models in that respect. Well, you don't believe me? Have a look. It is fun to drive. The Ampera E really accelerates like a real sports car, but without the noise. I'm convinced that the Ampera E is a vehicle that you will all love to drive. But you will ask, where does this combination of power and range come from? And there is one poor person with us today who can explain this better than anybody else. May I introduce to you the Executive Chief Engineer of the Ampera E, Pam Fletcher. Pam, please come to me on stage.